Alright lads, how's it going? So one of my mods has just sent me this folder. Thank you, Jacoprita. This is what looks to be one of the first leaks of the Object 292. So it looks pretty real to me. Lego Cube, don't know who that is. Maybe it's one of the mods. I don't even know if you can get this at the minute. You might be able to. Anyway, so it's coming in at battle rating 10.0 in rank 7. Not really too sure if it's going to stay at that. As we'll see shortly, this gun is quite spicy. But you can see it's got a completely new turret design. Doesn't look anything like a T80U or any other T80 for that matter. The upper frontal plate looks to have had like a steel plate just put on top of it. Looks different to the normal T80, unless I've got that mistaken. And it just looks like a T80BV, that's basically what it is. The T80B is one of the modifications, and the V stands for like when you get explosive reactive armor added onto the tank. The metal here is just literally metal sheet, it's metal plate, I guess, just there to imitate the weight of ERA. It will give you a little bit of additional protection. So the gunner's optics, it's 3.9 zoom and then an optional 9 times zoom, so pretty good. Not as nice as my challengers, which have a very wide field of view when they're zoomed out, so you don't get tunnel visioned. Should be pretty decent though. What's lacking here, again, there's no thermal imager, I don't think. The early T80Bs didn't get thermals. And then we see here, can't really zoom in on this one, I don't know why. Can zoom in on that one, but not that. Anyway, so you can see here, it's 70mm plate of steel, just under 3 inches. So not a unsubstantial amount of applique armor, I guess, but it's not really going to do anything against the top tier AP FSDS rounds. Again, we can see in the modifications that at the minute, it does only get NVDs. You can see that it isn't a white. If it's this symbol is white, you can tell it's thermals. If it's green like this, it's just NVDs. The tank does get a laser rangefinder, which is going to help with our aiming of a gun, especially with this meaty high explosive round, which we'll look at shortly. It also gets the dozer blade found on a lot of the T80 and T72 variants. Not really too much to say about the modifications. Again, this is completely, well, it's probably unfinished at the minute. I don't think this is going to be staying at battle rating 10.0. Mainly, we can't really zoom in. Like maybe you can do this. Maybe you can see it better. So we get a 152mm LP83 SAKO round. Very high muzzle velocity. I think this will be the highest muzzle velocity SAKO round in the game. I could be mistaken on that, but I think it is. 695mm of flat penetration. It is very, very powerful. The angled pen, that's a little bit to be decided. Okay, so the 2A7, I can get it unopened. DM53, oh, it doesn't. So the new round, the LP23 or whatever it's called, it's going to have more penetration at 60 degrees than DM53. So it's going to be an absolute monster of a main gun round. But this thing should be an absolute monster. It's also 7 kilograms in weight. That's quite heavy. So you've got a heavy round traveling very fast. Going to be doing a lot of penetration. You can see here from the picture that we have a lot of armor. This means it's going to have pretty good post-pen damage. That's something that not a lot of people know about. Moving on though to the high explosive round. It also travels pretty fast, but pretty much half of the speed of the SAKO. Travels at 920 meters per second. Again, this could be increased or decreased when it goes live, but can't complain at all about that. That's around the same speed as the Vidar. Going to make aiming this HE shell pretty easy, and it might actually be a contender for using the HE round over the SAKO due to the insane amount of TNT filler. So 8.62 kilos of TNT with an explosive killing distance of 61mm, I guess. So the rooftop of pretty much any NATO tank is going to be an easy kill. The side of NATO tanks as well, near the tracks, it's around 30 to 40mm of armor. My dog again is playing. So you'll be able to go through the side armor of NATO main battle tanks pretty easily, so you don't even have to aim for the turret roof. Obviously that's only from the side aspect. You're not going to do any damage to like the frontal plate, but you can hit the roof or you can hit the driver's port. Obi. I apologize for the doggo. We do also have the Klimov GTD 1000 gas turbine engine. Not sure if this is the same as the T80's engine, might be a little bit less or more, not too sure. So you remember the engine power of the Object 292, it was 973, the exact same as the engine in the T80B currently in War Thunder. However, if we open the transmission, filter and engine, or rather we select the modifications, that engine power should go up to 1100 horsepower, which is pretty decent to be honest. But yeah, while the Object 292 is shaping up to be a pretty good reward vehicle, and it does have an incredibly good gun, I wouldn't be too worried at the minute. While the penetration is very high for this, it does have a 10-second reload, which is quite bad, and everyone at top tier is going to be aiming at weak spots already. I don't for a second believe that this thing is going to be coming in at battle rating 10.0. That's probably just a carryover from the T80B. It's almost certainly going to be 10.7 or 11.0, even 11.3 really. I think it is going to be well worth the grind. The lack of thermal images isn't a huge issue to be honest. It used to be a game breaker, but gameplay is so fast now and the maps are so small that you don't really need thermals at the minute. So yeah, I wouldn't be worried about this thing being overpowered. If anything, it's just going to nuke Soviet win rates at top tier, which I think is something that everyone can agree with. Might finally give the Americans a little bit of a break or a chance to get the win rate back up. But anyway, it looks pretty good, decent. I'm going to grind it. I don't know whether you should. That's up for you to decide. But anyway, lads, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.